Oh man. Hey, thanks for being patient with us here. You know how JT does his thing, man. He's always got something cooking and going, and I don't know what he's doing. I just sit here and pay attention and try to learn something, I guess, from time to time. But here we are on another Wednesday night of this edition of Teague. I'm really excited about this. Roll Tide, Cat. I'm really excited about this because we got a lot of things that we need to chat about. Uh, we apologize right now because we didn't get a review of the last game um, with Alabama versus South Carolina. But my power was out at the
Tennessee,
house.
Tennessee. We did the South
Tennessee.
Carolina one.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay.
Tennessee.
The I don't know if you actually saw the film. It was cut really weird. It was really hard to watch anyway. So
Yeah, it was. But we're good. So we got a good lineup today, though. We're going to talk about Milrow a little bit, probably talk about this offensive line, then cover heavy Mizzou because we got a very special guest on it. So, I want you guys stay in with us throughout the whole show. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button already. Go ahead and do that. Get it out of the way. Hit the bell. Give us the likes. Share it. Let everybody know what we're doing and what we're about to do because we got some film for you too of Mizzou. We'll talk all good things and bad, what we think about them. So let's go ahead and get this party started. JT, if you don't mind, let's go. Teague. All right, and I'm back, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask my JT to go ahead and give me a timer because I need to make sure that I stay right on this run out that I'm about to give you right now. Because something hit me kind of hard today, a little bit. With I was around some people that, and it kind of aggravates me a little bit when people don't know how to accept compliments. Right? We get a little negative, thinks people are always up to something, and things of that nature. So I want to be able to talk to you about the importance of accepting praise because often we find ourselves deflecting compliments and brushing them off. But however, embracing praise can have significant benefits, both personally and professionally. Accepting praise acknowledges your hard work, your achievements as well. And when someone recognizes you for your efforts, it's a validation of your skills and your dedication. So this recognition can boost your confidence. It can motivate you to continue to strive for the excellence that you have. So remember, acknowledgement from others can reinforce your self worth and remind you of your capabilities. Accepting praise fosters positive relationships as well. When you graciously accept compliments, you show appreciation for the giver's recognition. This can strengthen connections, create an environment where everyone feels valued. It encourages a culture of support and positively essential for teamwork and collaboration. Accepting praise can enhance your resilience. In this world, criticism is rampant, right? It's very prevalent. And allowing yourself to celebrate successes, no matter how small, helps build a more balanced perspective. It reminds you that while growth often comes from challenges, there is also merit in your achievements. So, lastly, accepting praise is a form of self care. It's a moment to pause and reflect on what you've accomplished, giving yourself permission to feel proud. This product or this practice can be powerful in combating self doubt and burnout. It's not just about receiving compliments, it's about recognizing your worth, building relationships, fostering positivity, and taking care of yourself. So the next time someone offers you praise, embrace it because you've earned it. And that's a Teague take. All right. I want to go ahead and bring in the man, the myth. I don't know if he's a legend or not, but JT, can you actually hear my hand claps when I
I
push this
can,
button?
I can.
Oh, I don't know if everyone hears that, but Mr. James Teague is in the house today, man. He's always up to something, man. He's a busy man. You know, we love the uh, the amount of time that he spends with Teague's Take, his family, trying to balance work, family, Teague's Take, football. There's a lot that he has to do, so I'm very thankful that he's here. And I know you guys love him too, because y'all tell me all the time that it should be Teague's Take podcast with James Teague instead of Teague's Take podcast with George Teague. I find that. But anyway, JT, do you accept compliments, man, or are you one of those be like,
Um,
whatever? Why is he telling me that? Is he up to something? What does he want?
it depends, cause some of them are fake. Uh, so you know, it depends on whether I find that compliment genuine or not.
Okay, and I can see that, and I can say that what maybe made me do this. I was sitting around a coach, and I was speaking to one of both of our superiors, and I've been talking well about this coach, saying that hey, he needs a little bit of praise, right? Because he goes above and beyond, he does something. So I knew where this gentleman was coming from when he was actually praising him, and the coach kind of looked at it, or was kind of gave a response, kind of like, I didn't think it was appropriate. It was just kind of like you said, maybe he thought it was fake or something. And the guy gave it to her over the phone, on a speakerphone. And when I hung up, I was like, Coach, I said, what was all that? The guy was trying, he said, well, yeah, people have told me before I need to accept, compliments and all that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I mean, now you kind of like trying to do, but anyway, accept the praise uh, for what it is. Okay. So I want, I want to go ahead and bring in this next gentleman. He's been on our show before, but let me give you a rap sheet on him. And I get kind of scared about him. You're gonna know why. I get scared of him sometimes because when he asks for our passwords or email addresses or whatever, I kind of go, wait a minute, I know what his history is and all this kind of stuff. But let me tell you about it, right? So he went to high school at Southwest High School in St. Louis. All right. Um, if you learn more about this guy, I mean, we're going to talk a ton of football, but when you learn his history and what they had, we kind of had a similar backgrounds because we're a little bit older, and he was going through the desegregation stuff, right? Getting bused to different places and all this kind of stuff. So you really should try to. This guy needs to write a book about it. But he's a three-sport athlete. He played baseball, basketball, and football. Then he was scholarship to play offensive line at Mizzou, at the University of Missouri, and that's why we're so glad to be able to have him on here. He was all Big Eight, 79 and 80. He was All American in 80. He did start 4 games as a true freshman, so he didn't get redshirted, which was very big back in the day. Not so much now. And then he went on to have 40 consecutive starts at right tackle. After that, he got drafted, JT and everybody else, in the first round to the Dallas Cowboys, number 26 overall. This was in 1981. Yes, Dallas Cowboys was having a great career there. Ended up starting his second year. Unfortunately, he ran into some injuries, and then things started getting a little rocky. But he ended up having a tremendous career there. He ended up finishing his career in Seattle. Another part of his story. I think that was the year when they had the lockout or the strike or whatever it was. Maybe you can tell us about that on another show. But post football, spent 13 years with the CIA. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about if he's hacking into our computer. JT's already worried about, hey, what happened to my sound? What is all this
Yeah,
stuff?
no, for real though. Like,
As
there's
soon
so
as he
many
popped
things that
in,
are just like chat ain't even working right now.
yeah, So it's just something. I don't know what it is. But anyway, we're not skeptical or anything like that. But
Uh, we are
uh,
skeptical.
yeah, I guess so. You're right. Try to be nice to him because I need him to stay on the show for an hour with us. So currently he works as a football analyst for the University of Missouri. You can find him on Live Field Sports Tiger Radio Network. Doing these games. Additionally, I didn't know this. Senior manager of external relations for the College of Arts and Science. 2015, he was inducted to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. Let's bring in Mr. Howard Richards. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Mhm. So,
Oh, well, look, I put him on the screen, and
oh, the
chat's
chat
back.
popped up just right there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I must have ruined something before.
So the
That's okay.
first question, I guess, then is that really your house, or are you in a basement in a bunker somewhere? What are you doing?
It's a covert location. I just dressed up to look like my house. You're right. You're onto something, George.
Well, we thank you for coming.
And I may have had something to do with the chat coming back up. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, you got that sound like got that drum.
You'll never know.
I know. You figure I feel like I'm hearing drones over my house right about now. I don't know what's going on. Um, but anyway, thank you for being on the show, brother. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to join you guys, man.
And we've been anticipating this.
I have since left working for the University of Missouri as a staffer. I was 4 years with, actually 3 years with College of Arts and Science. Then did 2 years with Mizzou Athletics, and since moved on, worked in healthcare for a couple of years, and now I work for a software technology company called Halicon that does
Mhm.
access control, artificial intelligence, facial recognition, among other things. So now I'm having some real fun uh, in the business world, in technology world.
JT, do you know anything about this stuff he talking about? This Helicon and all these terms he just used with I don't know, AI, facial recognition, software programming.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you know how facial recognition works, and AI, since it's in your phone that you use all the time. Because I know you don't punch in your passcode every time to unlock your
No,
phone.
man, I'm like this now. It just
That's the kindergarten version, George.
Yeah.
we look like we need to have some facial recognition on some of these plays we get from both of our teams.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
so I think we need to talk about that a little bit. Can we go ahead and get to a little bit of
let's
football?
do it. Let's
So I
do
want
it.
actually want to talk about Alabama first, okay? A little bit and get you guys' take on this because, dude, you go anywhere on social media. I know JT doesn't really get on it that much. I don't know about you, Howard, and from an Alabama perspective, man, they are roasting Jalen Milrow. Just all kind of stuff. He ain't up to par. Bench him, set him down, bring in Ty Simpson, or just all this kind of stuff. So,
Let me just say this real quick.
mhm.
Bama fans are spoiled because we hear this every week for the last 3 4 years with Brady Cook. We're used to it. We hear it all the time. Heard it last week. The guy only comes back and engineers a 95-yard game-winning drive. Goes to the hospital during the game. He's gone for 2 hours. Comes back. They finally give him a standing ovation, when he comes back, and of course all the heroics. He wins the game, but he has been booed. Um, some of the words used to describe him are ass, uh, piece of trash, garbage, dumpster fire. Yet Mizzou over the last 20 games is 17-3 with Brady Cook as its quarterback. So I'm not sure what else they want. All I can say is maybe Jalen Milrow better be glad he's in Tuscaloosa and not Columbia.
It sounded like they want him to go. That he's gonna have to take a trip to the hospital in the middle of the game and come back and win
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Go 4th and 31 after he got
Right, right.
rolled off in an ambulance. Because I don't know. Is it? I'm with you. I don't think that it's warranted with the amount of hate that we have. I do think it's that it's fair that you can say or ask, um, has he improved or has he regressed any since the beginning of the year or since the Georgia game? Um, so I think that's what I kind of want to hear
Yeah.
from both of you guys. Do you really think that? What do you think? I'll start with you, JT. What do you think about his play over the past couple of weeks, and should they really be thinking about any kind of quarterback change?
Well, I kind of I'd said it a little bit in a forum earlier today. Actually, I don't think that you make a change at any position um, unless the backup is actually better. Like you, to me, um, in order to become the starter, you have to beat the starter in practice. You don't get to be worse all week in practice and then just wait for somebody to have a bad game. To me, that's not how this works. You've got to prove yourself Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if you're better and have and been demonstrably better, then you kind of wait until it feels like the guy in front of you uh, can't get it done anymore. And the distinction I made was there's a difference between not having a bad or having a poor performance or a seemingly poor performance versus holding one side of the ball back, right? So the discussion we got into was Jalen Hurts and Tua and that kind of thing, and I my take on it was a very poorly kept secret that Tua threw the ball, just his ability to throw the ball was better than Jalen's at that time. The question then was, could he run the offense? Does he actually give you a better opportunity? But meanwhile, Jalen's still winning all these games. And it didn't come to a head until the national championship where things weren't going right. And what you needed
Someone
was
to
a
throw the ball.
passing game. So now you have a guy who you knew was better at doing that thing than the guy that you had on the field. And to me, that's kind of when you make the change, is when you know that the guy that's standing on the sideline is demonstrably better at the thing that needs to be done at that moment. Then you put him in there. And I'll take it a step further to say if you've got two guys that are similar, I'm still not making the change. If you're similar, then you need to beat him in practice.
Hmm. I like what he's saying there. In practice, what did you say, you, Mister Richards, about this in quarterback changes and what goes into the process of actually making an in-game change?
You both know who the most popular player is on the team, right? The backup quarterback.
Always.
Always.
Always. No, I do agree with JT. There's so many things that go into making the decision as to who's going to remain as your field general and why. Um, and I do believe that whoever the backup is has to really be a guy that can give you the best chance to win when you decide to make a change. And that's the reason, even if Brady Cook or Jalen Hurts or Jalen Milrow haven't played at their best, you're going to bring in a guy cold off the bench and really think that he's going to do better than the guy that's been on the field, week in, week out, year in, year out. It's a pipe dream. It usually does not happen that way. Um, there are some coaches that have made that move and been successful on occasion, but for the most part, that's why they ultimately go back to the original starter. Um, because that backup isn't a guy, he doesn't get, as you all know, he doesn't get the reps at practice. He's usually working with the scout team or running with the twos. So he's not necessarily seeing the same action. He's not seeing the same looks
Hmm.
as the starters are. Here's the other thing. Sometimes, and I say this is especially true this year, the parity in the league, the parity in college football, it is alive and well this year.
Yes, it is.
Teams, that gap between the top and the bottom is doing this. How else does, and this, I'm not knocking Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt's program has been, amongst the worst. Let me take that. Let me rephrase that. Uh, Vanderbilt's program has not been the robust program that we have seen from Alabama and Georgia, the perennial powers in the SEC, for a number of reasons. Um, Now, with the transfer portal, with NIL, it has enabled Clark Lee to build the type of program that he, really envisioned building when he came to Vandy as the head coach from Notre Dame, even before there was NIL or the transfer portal. When you can bring in and pay a player that is valuable to your team and is a valuable puzzle piece, you have to do that. And whether it's Vanderbilt or Tennessee or Missouri or Alabama, you owe it to yourself to bring in the best player. And especially if you can find a quarterback, a guy that is a proven winner, a guy that works well within your system, and a guy that can flat out get it done, then you need to do that. Listen, Diego Pavia from Vandy, most of the world has just seen him this year. Mizzou saw him at New Mexico State a few years ago, and he virtually did the same thing to us then that he did this year, and what he did to Alabama. He just didn't have as many players surrounding him at New Mexico State. He's a winner. He's a different type of player, but the guy's the heart of a champion. Uh, but at Vandy, he's surrounded by many more. I think SEC caliber players than what he had at New Mexico State. I don't know how Vandy's going to finish the rest of the year. They're sitting at 4-2 now, I believe. It will be a great story if they, continue to win a few more games this year. Three, four, five more games, or if they run the table. It's going to be a great story. But right now, I mean, they're riding on a high. They're playing pretty well. There's still a lot of football remaining, so it'll be an interesting team to watch, as they go forward. But listen, having a quarterback on your roster is the most important position. And I think the people that are saying Milroe should sit, I mean, from what I've seen of Milroe, there's no way. I think he's among the top, if not the top quarterback in the SEC as of right now, overall. So why would you sit him? And I don't know what Bama's record is over the last two seasons with him a starter, but I would imagine it's comparable to 17-3 where Brady Cook sits.
He hadn't lost very many games, and I
Yeah.
think that both of you guys have shared some really great insight with that, and I think that you know you just have so much chatter that everybody's buying into, and I just want to make sure people are cautious a little bit about it because you got former players talking about techniques and different things. This is going on at all levels now. You got Troy Aikman talking about wide receivers at the Cowboys. That's kind of the new big thing. Now you got
Mhm.
people spouting off back at each other with that. But you got, you know, our people talking about technical issues with Jalen and things of that nature. And I agree with some of them. There are things that I see just as a coach, and I'm like, man, I sure wish he would uh, step up in the pocket more. Or one thing that I don't see, you
Same
know,
things with Brady Cook. Yeah.
yeah, I like it. I've never really seen Milrow take that little spin out, to when someone's coming from his blind side to be able to roll out. You see it a lot in the pros and all this kind of just having that feeling like, oh, or peripheral vision that someone's there and then they, spin out. He doesn't normally do that. Like someone pointed out, hey, he goes for the stiff arm and then he tries to run. Well, that's just the way that he's kind of built. But those are technical things that you have to work on and you got to be comfortable with. Um, is that his fault? It, I don't know. Listen, I went and watched. I spent a whole lot of time with Harbaugh. Well, I guess when he was at Stanford, because I was
Hmm.
really trying to learn about the quarterback stuff and all the stuff he was going through, stepping up and dipping the shoulder and going around and over the bags and ducking. I mean, there's all kind of stuff they're doing with these quarterbacks, and I
He
don't know.
does dip his shoulder pretty good though.
Oh yeah,
He's very good at that one.
yeah. No, I'm sure it's a normal, common, everyday kind of thing that he has to work on. But it goes back into what Mr. Richards was saying too, is that you got to know what you have. His strength is running the football. It's what you said too. Who's better for you to win, and how do you? Um, that is a good point by Cat. And you got a bunch of you're dealing with another coordinator, but it's how do you use him effectively? Because you have to build something around him was going to be able to fit his mode if he's your best quarterback. I think we could spend a whole lot of time on this.
Well,
You
the
know,
last thing I wanted to say is kind of like for every is kind of the same thing that Howard was saying. For every uh, Tua and Arch Manning and Cardell Jones, there's a whoever it was that Tennessee had to go out there for one play that immediately threw an
through the
interception.
pick right there.
There's a Robbie Ashford. There's a long list of other quarterbacks that came in for a couple of drives and absolutely ruined the game. And then you put the starter back in there to try to go be the hero and save you. So
Yeah,
we
it's
remember the
happened.
good ones, but we immediately forget all the times that it went wrong
Yeah,
and the locker room.
no doubt. And you know what? Here's something else to consider. A couple things to consider. Just going back to like quarterback mechanics and just general pocket awareness. Um, I'm a big fan. Just if you look at for those of our viewers that watched Jared Goff with the Lions recently, in that game on Sunday, there was one play in particular where he was stood tall in the pocket and stepped up. There was a defender that had reached around and grabbed him by the shoulder as he's throwing the ball. He just
Oh, go ahead.
seems so unaware or unfazed by the presence of that defender's arm on his shoulder. And I think the great quarterbacks have that feel like I'm going to stand in that pocket. I'm going to climb that pocket. I'm going to depend on my center and guards to be formidable, really tough in the front, right? So that I have that space to step up into. Because here's the thing: if you roll out around or spin out around your offensive tackles, two things happen. You're going to put the tackles in a bad position
You didn't like
because
that,
they
did
can't
you?
beat. No,
You didn't like that, did you?
no. I don't like it because our own quarterback does it. I did, and it does it. That edge rusher is right there. He can make a sack. It's an easy sack for him as an offensive lineman. You can't see what the quarterback's doing. The pass rusher sees it all if he's agile and adept enough to be able to come off that block and make that play. But if your quarterback is stepping up in the pocket, and so he's got that natural break between guard and center, excuse me, between guard and tackle if something breaks down, because the edge rushers are coming upfield hard and heavy. Unless they make a hard inside move, then it's a natural for him to go around the outside. But he's the best part about a quarterback stepping up in the pocket is what? Eyes are downfield. His eyes are always downfield. Once you roll out and turn your back, you're now allowing the defense to really close the gap on the receivers downfield. The guy may be beat by 5 yards, but once he slows down, and if the receiver happens to realize the quarterback is in trouble, you as a defender on the back end can close that gap and just make it even more of a difficult throw downfield. It's not. I think it's just more rare for your quarterback to, when he decides to spin out that way and try to throw it. I bet the completion percentage is far less, and the accuracy is far less than if your quarterback is climbing the pocket with his eyes downfield making throws.
Okay, thank
And
you.
also, I was also just going to say that sometimes you George, you should know this as a defensive player. These defensive coordinators can scheme the heck out of you, and they many times they just have the right blitz on. They got the right coverages, and it's just a better scheme on that particular play than what the offense is running. Defenses can win too, so that's why the strategy is so interesting. It's that cat and mouse game, that back and forth, that give and take throughout the game. That's so fun for guys like us to watch anyway, because we understand it at a much higher level than others do.
Yes, and I do appreciate you for those things, and we do need to kind of move on a little bit because once we get into this film,
Let's do it.
it's going to be going. We ain't quite there yet. And first, I need to say that I see what you're doing over here too, Howard, because you kind of hit me twice on both sides. One, you spend a lot of time talking about Vandy. You know, I'm still hurting. I'm having a little piece on that. But then you also threw in the Detroit Lions, who just smashed our court or Cowboys and all this. Guy, I was like, man, he trying to give me some sly shade
My
on there,
Cowboys
you
too.
know.
They're my
You
Cowboys
know,
too.
trying to give me some sly shade, but let's talk. Let's go ahead and transition to Mizzou a little bit. I don't know, JT, if you kind of got any kind of analytics or data
I
understanding
do. I
that you kind
do.
of
Partially because I wasn't able to watch or dissect the film from the Mizzou Auburn game like I would have liked. So I did run a couple of reports on the two games that we do have, Mizzou Vandy and Mizzou Auburn. They are really they're 60-40 pass, which again, as we keep saying, is like the modern balanced offense anyway.
There's no true balance. You're right about that.
They run a ton of different formations, like a lot. Um, and they're motioning quite a bit too. But the thing that I thought that was interesting, of course, I always think this report is interesting because I talked about it last week. What do you want to do on 2nd and 7 plus? So let me pull up my D&D chart here. They are short distance, they're going to run the ball. Medium distance, they're still looking like they're going to run the ball. Long distance on first down, they've only had one, but they ran the ball there too. But when it gets to second and medium, that's 4 to 6. It's like 86% run. But if it's second and long, 7 and 10, is like 78% pass. So there's a clear line in the sand there of like on second down. If it's 7 plus, we're thinking pass
well,
all the way here. And if it's less than 7, it's a very heavy run tendency. So you should kind of know what's coming on second down. And really the same with third. If it's third and 1 to 3, it's a run. Anything else is probably a pass. But the other thing that I found interesting, because I would not have used this word to explain the Mizzou's offense, but that's clearly because I haven't watched a lot of Mizzou's offense. But that word is explosive. 20% of their passes are going for 11 plus yards,
oh, I got some deep shots of them.
and they're averaging like 20
Just
yards on those. Yeah, and I saw them because I started filtering and I saw how many fires you put on the thing there. But what I noticed, what was because I just started kind of clicking through some of those clips, not just the ones that you made, but just the ones that filtered on their passes that went for more than 11 yards. They're not really that many like deep balls. It's catch, break a tackle, get upfield. That's how this is working. They are not
all the
taking
things we got problems with,
right.
not tackling.
They are not taking 40-yard bombs. Like they're taking 5-yard drags and they're breaking a tackle on the corner or the linebacker and they're getting up the sideline and picking up an extra 15 yards. And to me, that's scary. That's like, hey, this is the thing that we struggle with the most is getting guys on the ground and covering people. you know?
You
So
know, you really listen, George. Whatever you taught JT, uh, he is very astute.
JT
Because
and
I
I have
was,
known each other for a few years, but we coached together for a long time. Most people
yeah,
forget that. I don't know. Do we have 11 years or
yeah,
so?
something like that.
I mean, probably about 11 years together as coaches.
yeah. Let me just say this. You mentioned explosive plays. Now, I will say this: this year's version of the Missouri Tigers, the expectation would be was that this would be the most, if not among the most explosive teams in college football. It has not worked this year for any number of reasons. There have been, you should go back and look, JT, at how many missed connections on deep balls there have been this year.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
see, I didn't look at that one.
so many close calls, so many close calls. In fact, I don't know the number, but I think because they have not made the connections, I think they've shied away from throwing as many deep balls as they really want to. Um, I don't know that I like that strategy. I think you got to continue to try to not force the issue, but you got to continue to try to make those plays until you connect because they have the talent to do so. It's almost as if Brady Cook, who a couple of years ago had a torn labrum and his accuracy was off, the strength of his arm was off. Came back last year, had a fantastic season. It's as though his arm has gotten much stronger this year because he's not really underthrowing balls. I mean, he's overthrowing. I mean, speedy receivers um, by a yard, a couple of yards in some cases. Now, some of his balls could have a little more air underneath them. They're a little more flat, and I think that might also resolve the issues there. But the intermediate stuff, which I think we need to see more of, especially start attacking the middle of the field, start using the tight ends more. We saw flashes of it last week, and I think if you utilize that, you'll put more stress on the defense, giving them yet another player to have to worry about defending throughout the course of the game.
Hey, I can't let you coach them all the way up. Some of you people might be watching the show. We don't need them doing
We
any of
know
that
they're
kind of
not
stuff.
watching. We know they're not watching.
We need them to run the ball. So let me ask you this.
But here's that's the other thing. They have not run the ball. That's what they do best. They have not, in my opinion, run the ball as much as they should
So let me give you a few points. Well, let me ask you a question first
have. Okay.
with this because Brady Cook. So do you have any? Uh, is this guy doubtful? Is he going to play or not? Brady Cook, the quarterback I'm talking about. He's kind of got the ankle or something, or I don't
Yeah.
know what it
Had a
is.
Wait, hold on.
high
Is it?
ankle.
Is he going to
It's
play?
Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 8. While you're talking about that, I think the injury report's out.
You
Let me
can
go
look
It's
at
find
the
it.
out.
injury report. So
It's out. He's listed as doubtful.
so we got to look at him. So I don't know who his backup is, but
Drew
this is
Pine,
something. Okay.
He was
Uh,
there last year.
transfer from Notre Dame. No, he was not there.
Oh, that Pine. Yes. Okay.
so, but
Pyne, not riding the pine.
but the running back Nate
Nate
Noel,
Noel.
is he out? I guess you look at that. Is
He's out.
he's out? So you got starting running back, starting quarterback who are probably not going to play.
And another
Um,
starting receiver,
Yeah,
Mookie
Mookie Cooper
Cooper, is
is
also
also
listed as
doubtful.
doubtful.
yeah. See, so I'm saying this in a way that is this a game? I'm not asking you to answer this, but it bothers me a little bit because if you don't play well defensively or something else, or this is too close. Our fan base is already up in arms. If you lose and they don't have a quarterback, they don't have a running back, they don't have the stuff. Oh my gosh, can you imagine what this is going to actually be like? Or even if you don't win by 3 touchdowns or
Right.
something, people are just going to be like, oh my God, we can barely beat this Mizzou team that don't even have their folks. But anyway, so let me talk about them a little bit. They still got Luther Burden the third.
hmm
He can go now. He's one of those
Yep.
ones you talk, he can catch the ball, he can get going. They're gonna be sending him in motion or whatever, trying to get him the ball. Their linemen pretty solid up front. I think they're when we show some of this film, and I'll make sure I reiterate this, their running games. I think they're better, JT and Howard, at running outside zones and inside zones. So I did watch a little bit more film than
Yeah.
JT did. I think they're an outside run team. I don't
They
think
are.
they do it enough
Yeah.
because they're really good at it. And their play actions that they have off of
Oh,
them
their
is
play
really
actions are
good because they're
dope.
so good at it, right? So we got to be worried about that. And when we start talking about this eye defense, are we going to be in trouble with looking in the backfield and getting hit with play action because you got to have eye discipline with stuff like this, especially when all your linemen are running one direction. We'll make sure that you guys see it. The defensive line, what I saw, particularly inside guys, them guys got some size, man. There's some big old dudes.
Hmm.
They pretty stout in there. Um, I actually like some of the. I don't know if they're considered backups or not, or how much they actually rotate, but got a lot of transfers. You got to transfer from Florida, Michigan State, Oregon, Georgia Tech. I mean, you got a lot of guys in there that you can tell know how to play the game. So, from the offensive side, a lot of outside zones. I think that we are going to have to scheme around their right guard. I don't know what his name is, number 74. I should have wrote it down. I feel like
Cameron Johnson.
I think we
Oh,
maybe
hold
can.
on. Cameron Johnson, he is listed as questionable, I think. Is
Oh,
or no, no, I lied. That's
okay,
Caden Green is the one
that's the
Caden
listed.
left
Green,
guard.
left guard, left
That's
guard.
the left guard. I got his name down written as one. So we in Howard, you'll be able to talk more about it when we actually get into this. You know what, how balanced these guys are and what it is, because there's some. Again, it's really kind of try to teach the technique of how they do. Sometimes they're looked at they're off balance. That's any team, right? Even with Alabama. But anyway, that's that. So they got a lot of good stuff on defense. They're big up front, like I said. They can apply pressure, and this is what's scary from that sense because they do. How is Milrow going to handle that pocket? They blitz those safeties in there, getting those 5-man pressures, um, and Jalen has to know where that blitzer's coming from. He can't be just guessing and just throwing it somewhere because
And see, I guess
that'll
that's what I
put you
don't
in trouble.
understand with Jalen. Just to go on a little bit of a tangent. Is like it felt like he knew exactly where those blitzes were coming from against Georgia.
Oh, he was on
He
point.
was
He hit it
picking
all.
the blitz apart. And what happened? I guess it was like
Yes.
what was going on now?
So in the end, what I'm saying is, as much as I just praised their defensive line, I think, and we'll show you some of the film again on this, that Alabama has to run the football to beat these guys. They're
Yes.
gonna have to run the football. Whether that's with the quarterback, running back, whoever it is, they gotta run. I see them being their the point we need to be able to exploit, and particularly outside runs. I think, or these quarterback runs could be good too outside. So, all right. Anything else we need to go before we get into this? Before we take a quick
Yeah,
break.
I think we need to pay some bills so we can get to the film.
All right. So what we're gonna do? We got a couple sponsors. 90 seconds. We'll be right back.
George, you going to the game? You doing TV show?
Hey everybody, George Teague here, formerly of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Dallas Cowboys. So let me ask you a question. Are you an athlete or a coach looking to boost your online visibility? Well, you've got to check out On3. Their personalized web pages amplify the total you on and off the field. Whether you want to grow your visibility, build your brand, or simply show the world who you truly are, On3 is here for you. They showcase the complete person, celebrating your passions, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence beyond sports. These web pages are the ultimate digital hub to elevate your brand and highlight your journey. So head on over to www.on3.io/microsites and get started with On3 today.
All right, and our last one, Titan, Texas, is the North Texas chapter of the University of Alabama National Alumni Association. Their mission is to promote the university, and I'm losing my read. I'm sorry, John. Hold on, because there's a new event. Their mission is to promote the university in North Texas and raise money for their 10 endowed scholarships. They accomplish their mission through hosting Bama athletic watch parties, philanthropic, and social events. And their next event is their first annual chili cook-off.
Could be good. Could be good.
Might need to enter. On Sunday, November 10th, at Blackfriar Pub, of which you should see their giant logo on our screen, our title sponsor. Check their Instagram, Tied In. That is the letter N, Tide in Texas for more info. Tied in Texas looks forward to the opportunity to promote their chapter's mission and to work with Teague's Take to help promote the Teague Family Scholarship as well. So thank you to Tied in Texas for your support of the show.
Yes, thank you. And he didn't ask me to say this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because he'll probably put it in the chat somewhere. We had a side bet on our fantasy football game. We had a fantasy football league that I invited him to, and I for surely thought I won the game. He had two guys left. I was up by I don't know how much. Well, his two players
This
were.
sounds like a long way of saying you lost.
I did lose. It was like at the last part of the game. That's because Derrick Henry was one of his running backs, and the other running back was Rashad White from Tampa, who got garbage touchdown or two there at the end after they were down. I'm like, really? Come on, man. So you know how boastful he can be a little bit. So he had to
Mhm.
make sure he told me to get him a good bottle of whiskey. So all right, man, let's do this, bro. Let's go. I don't know which one you got in first.
This is Missouri's defense versus runs.
Okay. So yeah, what we need to concentrate on is just what they do and how they play up front. So these will be all defensive stuff first. I don't think I put these in order. It could have been. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe they are. It doesn't matter.
They are in order throughout the game, throughout this Auburn game.
Okay. This one. So a lot of 4-man front is the main thing you need to see. You remember we talking about this old 4-2-5 kind of stuff?
Yeah,
Just
they got a wide five on one side, a tight five on another. They got a three, and I guess I don't know if you want to call it a 2-eye or a one. I guess it depends on who he strikes first, but pretty box standard.
yeah. All right. So we'll let it run. You just need to see how they play. Like I said, they're kind of big up here, and we'll probably go in the end zone
Yeah, I
on all of
did. I
these.
did the end zone view for all the runs at least.
Yep, and how anything that you see, because Howie has not seen any of these plays. I couldn't figure out how to easily get it to him. Um, I just couldn't figure it out. But you can see the stunt by the inside, by the
Two
one
tackles.
technique or two tech or
Mhm.
whatever he was. So maybe you want to circle who that is when I'm talking about
Yeah, let me
that
get my drawing tool and
tool. So he goes. What is John O doing over here? I see some yellow something.
oh, John O 10.99 or a 9.99 super chat. Thank you, John, for the
Thank you very
support.
much. Yes, sir. We appreciate it. Yeah, I knew he was gonna say something. But anyway, thank you, man, for that. You know, it goes a long way because, particularly now that we're talking about doing some other stuff with Alabama film that we need to do for have some comprehensive stuff
That
for
is
you.
true. Yes, we are already making plans for the off season. But anyway, back to the matter at hand.
Yes. Okay, so you got movement. You know, you can't lunge as offensive lineman and all that kind of stuff because they will swim you. So as big and powerful as I think we're talking about, you got guys that get upfield. They're looping guys around. You got to be solid, and you can see the Auburn guys somehow they're face to face. They're guarding the tackle. I think every coach would say you're doing something wrong if you're 55 and 52 end up basically kissing each other. The left guard, the
Mhm.
left tackle. That ain't right. They don't block
Well,
the guy.
and that what I were if there were that left guard, he instead of chasing around the corner, if you will, he's got to go up to the next level, get vertical. You see that other backer? Well, and once he's crossed his face, go up to the next, look for a safety, look for the other backer. Yeah, right there. You got to be. You should be going um,
Right?
downfield. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like anytime, and I don't know why this is a habit so often, but I feel like anytime you're an offensive lineman, if you are, if you can see the ball, if you can look in the ball carrier's face, you have probably done
You,
something incorrectly.
right, exactly. You're looking that way. You want to run towards the goalpost. You're always going downfield. So I
Yes.
don't understand that. But anyway,
We don't understand anything about Auburn. So whatever. Uh, all right. So that was one. They do like to shift a little bit. Hopefully, we won't have any penalties. We had way too many penalties.
Okay, I was about to
You
say
know.
this looks super interesting. I was like, how are you
Uh,
gonna get away with two bubbles? But
well, yes, and as you notice, they did this a lot in the game. They are basically almost they load the box up a lot. This is, I mean, now I know this is a inverted wishbone, so there's a lot of guys
Yeah.
in there, or whatever. So that doesn't necessarily count. But even in normal sets, they're it seems like they're asking them to throw the ball, um, like they're dedicated to stopping their run.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, um,
Well, and with a team like Auburn,
yeah, when you got Peyton Thorne there, that's definitely got to be the game plan, right? It's like, hey,
yeah,
make Peyton Arm beat you with Peyton Thorne beat you
throwing the
with the
ball.
sword. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, and
exactly.
that's why I think. So, what do you say about Jalen Milrow? So, I put a
the
couple of
same thing.
these in here because they still were able to run the ball outside with, you know, how many times. I mean,
Hmm.
Because what happens is you're the guy who's got edge, setting the edge responsibility is
goes
not
under
doing it.
and ducks.
He's cheating.
Yeah, he didn't put
He
hands on this
cheats.
dude.
No, you're cheating. You either better make that play if you decide to come inside, and someone else, whether it's that other backer or the safety on that's got that edge responsibility, somebody better be there. But our edge rushers do often lose contain, and a lot of times when guys are hitting that edge, if our edge rushers set that edge, it's tough to run outside. But when they lose track, it's usually because they've either gotten caught in the wash, went on a chase mission, or the backer or safety has not come up in run support.
And it will be interesting to see how DeBoer kind of sets this up and make those defensive ends read. Are they going to take the quarterback, the running back, or they're going to have the flasher coming from the other side? I think he's pretty good at that. All
Yeah,
right. So, uh, I think I put this one here because of the number 97.
Eddie
Was
Kelly.
that 97? Eddie
Yeah.
Kelly.
Hmm.
This might not be the play, but
Yeah,
we'll
I was
see.
gonna say I don't see 97 on it right now.
Um,
Oh, I like that. I
uh,
like that. I like that feel by the DB though. That's nice.
yes. So
That's
this is what
nice.
we're talking about. This insert by the safety.
It's a little hard for you to see the numbers. Oh, Dalen
13.
Carnell, 13. Yeah, he's a baller.
JT, you probably need to the guy that's coming in here. So because the linebacker doesn't insert in there, this is actually a DB
Yeah,
going in there to make the tackle, which typically you aren't counting,
Hmm.
right? Unless you just know something, and that's Howard. I'm talking to him as
he's that third linebacker hybrid safety linebacker that plays in the box a lot. And this guy's really got really good athletic instincts. He's got great speed, good size, and he's typically that guy that's going to make that type of play up in the box.
yeah. And so JT's giving you a different angle here that he's actually going inside, and underneath and making a tackle. It's pretty doggone good play. So you got to have your eyes up and understand who's coming where. These are the same type of blitzes they run on pass. The same dude comes through
Hmm.
there. So where's your hot read and stuff of that nature? So it's gonna be a good battle. This is the next play.
Yes, this is the next play.
All right, you still see the movement. Okay, this is 97. I'm not sure it's still the play. It's a defensive end. Sometimes their stances just kind of look weird. I
Hmm.
mean, this guy's just disrupting. They got two pullers coming around, and neither one of
Yeah.
them get him.
Yeah, they're trying to run the counter OT. So the lead blocker, who is the guard, just does a poor job on a kick out. He doesn't have enough. He's a little too flat, but doesn't read it. I don't know what he's looking at. As soon as he makes his pull, he's got to be looking for that end. But it was a good job of crashing it underneath by Eddie Kelly, number 97. Just
Yes.
a very athletic play.
Well, but look at the other guy on the inside, the tackle. I think he is number 8, 9. The right, the one
I
technique,
think it's
two
a
eye.
5.
Number 5,
Number
Christian
5.
Williams. Yeah, the
Yeah,
right defensive tackle. Hmm.
he. I mean, destroys this guy.
He's getting penetration.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
he
yeah, yeah.
whoops
Yeah,
this guy's butt.
bad technique by the left guard.
Yeah,
Which
this is also not a freeze frame that you want if you're number 55.
yeah,
No, you do not.
and I'm just afraid, So when we're looking at our grades and how our guys block, who's strong at running blocking, who's strong at pass blocking, you know, this is going to be an important matchup up front, people. Um, so can't take these dudes lightly, regardless. We see this. I hate when they do this stuff. It's just, I mean, this ends up working, but kind of weird. But I love the play, little
Yeah,
creativity.
yeah,
Again, where are your eyes as a defense? Now, these guys, you start talking about how they
got to stay
go the
home.
wrong way. You got guys on Missouri's defense that are
And my thing is, you can't chase. Stay home. Don't be a hero. Stay home. Expect them to run that reverse.
yep.
Expect it. Come upfield. You got to come upfield and don't chase down the line. That's your responsibility. Even though you want to get into the play, but your first responsibility is making sure nothing gets outside of you.
All right.
Is that right, George?
Yes, sir. It
Yeah,
is. I think we said uh, quarterback. Think he
Yeah,
keeps
looks
this
like
one.
we got a blitz on here.
They do. A lot of stunts there, but
Yeah,
this is
and I
one
feel like, yeah, where are we going? Okay. So my first thought is,
quarterback going left. This is an Alabama play,
Mm-hmm.
by the way.
yeah, but like I'm looking at this dude right here and I feel like he's wrong.
Yeah. What's he looking at?
Because well,
He's
even
watching.
I'm even thinking not even what the plays run it or not even what plays being run at him, just the fact that we've got
You got to have a quarterback on the pitch.
Yeah.
okay,
So
so he's coming here, he's inserting, he's coming here, but this dude, he's not. That's not where he goes, right? He's trying to get in here.
yeah.
So if you're on a blitz, you should be here, and that's not where he goes.
Quarterback.
He goes there. So that's what I'm saying.
We'll,
Like this,
we'll take a mistake.
regardless of what is actually being run at him, he is going to the wrong gap.
Mhm.
He should be here.
Well, if that end is crashing as hard as he is, that backer safety has got to be. He's got to creep up and be sure. But that ball snap, he better be able
Well,
to
so
control.
let me. I'm going to back this up because I watched this from the wide angle. That's why I actually put this in here. So this is 3rd and 4. Go
Mm-hmm.
pop on the wide angle because they
Okay.
actually. This is what I was talking about. They're daring you to throw the ball because that is a free safety. If you count how many people are within 10 yards of the ball,
Mm-hmm.
this is almost like we're playing option and this is a sniffer guy. So the free safety is 8 yards. The guy in front of the ref is
Yeah,
your
this is your deepest defender right here. So that's
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
But
7 yards off the ball.
so, yeah,
so everybody's up here and it seems and this is not like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or something. This is
can you tell the down and distance on that one by
third and
chance?
four.
3rd and 4. Yeah,
So, I mean, to me, they're basically saying,
we dare you to.
but I mean, it's so and look who makes the tackle though. You know what I'm saying? It's a free runner that comes up and makes the play. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
this is the
Maybe there's a
safety.
serious tendency
From
or something. It's the guy that we're talking about. They're like, no, you. And so maybe that answers your question too, JT. Of
but would you?
he might not have the quarterback.
No,
That
I'm not. I'm definitely not saying that he's responsible for the quarterback. I'm just saying you have. I'm more saying, thank God that this guy's coming downhill because you have two dudes dipping inside, and only one of them can go offside, and the other guy needs to have some kind of outside presence.
Yes. All right.
And had this dude not stepped down and rerouted, this could have been a problem.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And if it's actually an option, so the other thing I'm thinking is if this is actually supposed to be an option.
I don't think it's an
Oh no, it's
option.
not. It's
Do
there's
you?
no
not.
No,
there's no
no,
kids
that's
running.
quarterback run there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Because I was
because
gonna
you
say
just
11 is not helping, but he's supposed to be lead blocking. So yeah,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Anyway, there's enough time on it. There's a lot of stuff on that, and I really wanted to see that from, hey, that they're lining up and saying, you ain't running the ball. And what would they say against us?
No,
And
I will say this: the one thing that Missouri's defensive front has to do a better job of is shedding blocks. Better utilization of your hands. You know, boom, first move here, find it, shed, get into those alleys. Getting allowing these offensive linemen to occupy bodies far too long.
yep,
So that if you're running inside zone, if you dare to run inside zone, if the guys in black and gold aren't getting off blocks, you can have a field day running inside zone.
all right, okay. So let's flip over to their offense. These are their
These
runs.
are their run plays. Yes.
These are some run plays for you to look at. Again, there's some good, some bad. Um, anyway, they got some, some good guys up there. I think there's a couple weaknesses. You can let it run, JT. Um, so they move well. Um, Pretty good in space. You can see 74 here. The technique. It seemed like it should be an easy block to me. I'm not. This is just an anomaly. It's not like he does this every single play. But he missed. His angle. Maybe Howard would want to talk about that. When I mean, that's his guy all the way. I don't
Yeah,
know
A-
his depths or
and look at well, look
guard
at look at the
or the center.
center. Look at the center. Yeah,
Yes.
he's got his first step needs to be more upfield instead of lateral. Well, he's got to be a little somewhat lateral, but your guard can help you by at least getting a hand on that guy as he
Should have.
goes upfield.
He's supposed to be helping you out a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Like
it,
this
That
it,
left hand
this
should be a
right
little
here
bit
is
more
not
enforced.
yeah.
a that's not
or
helping.
or shoulder,
Yeah.
just a little bit of shoulder, just enough for the in this combo block for the center to be able to get there to reach. The center's not horrible. Um,
That's a long way to go for a
it
center.
is it is a long way to go. Now,
Yeah,
what
he's
you
trying to
do,
reach a two.
you can also um, where your back can help you, right? If he throttles down just a little bit, he gets a little close to the combo block. Just let it develop a little bit. But that right guard has got to get up on that backer. His angle needs to be more upfield instead of lateral to his right.
Yep. Okay. So that was just one of the things that I saw when we are looking at okay, how do we exploit it and what do we do and how we use our speed at backer. Um, all right, 3rd and 2. How about this for a little gamery? I don't know if you see this with a backup quarterback or not, but I like it.
It's counter. Yeah,
Yeah, little
good
QB
counter play.
counter, little
Yeah, counter
something.
with the
Counter with the
QB
court.
counter
Good counter. Yeah.
QB counter with a running back. That's a little that's novel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but we're always talking about eyes. What do you see? How do we overflow? Now that's a 3rd and 2 play, and we're struggling getting off on 3rd downs overall. A lot better this last week, um, but because the line is their line is
Yeah, let's watch this play
presenting
right here.
things.
Let's watch this. Okay, so this is another counter. Left guard's pulling, and watch what he does, and watch if the quarterback hesitates just a little bit. He makes the wrong read. The quarterback goes inside. He should stay outside. He should hug. He should hug that guard the way it should have been run. He should have hugged that
Go
pulling
around him
guard. He
to the
should have
right.
yep to the right. He should have stayed right. Come through right there. Could see that See the guy that comes upfield? He's out of position to make the
They
play.
both overran it.
Yep.
Nine's gone, and the other guy's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So arrow off of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I
So
know why.
my
I know why he saw. I know what he saw inside.
yeah. So I guess I'm asking, like, are we also saying that he should be out here too? Because I feel like I feel like the quarterback is not actually looking at this guy. He's just trying to find where his lead
blocker
is.
is.
Yeah. The lead blocker is the guard that's pulling. The center's right. And I know he sees that whole flash because he's got a running back that's leading in there as well. But the running back needs to be looking. He needs to be looking more downfield, like in the hole instead of to his right.
Okay.
He shouldn't even be blocking that defensive lineman that's coming off there.
Yeah, that's true. You got two guys, and I mean
Bad technique by the left guard when he pulls heads down. Yeah.
There we go. Talking about those guards. Which, you know what? Well, we've been pretty good at talking about people in good and bad ways, and a lot of times it pans out that way. I think we do a good job of giving everyone analysis of what they should be looking for in these games because we tend to pull some pretty good clips. Okay.
is it split zone?
Yeah.
That's a
Goes
beautiful.
for a good
I
one.
know. Look at that.
right there. Beautiful
So
executor.
I like what the guard and tackle do. So we're talking about power inside, meaning the double teams. They move 47 out of there. I mean,
Yep. He's. I don't know. I want to say they were slanting or in that direction. See, his first step is right anyway, number 47.
Yep.
And the guy coming in motion takes in guy in the line of scrimmage says, "Nice job there."
I think and I know we're not watching Auburn, but it's the same thing we're talking about gap responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know, because I see where 12 is going. 12 or 24 is wrong. Somebody's.
I think
I think 12 was wrong. I think 12 was wrong.
I think 24 is wrong. He's not.
He's
not
wrong
squeezing.
armor. Should he wrong armor?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on whether or not they're actually a spill team or a box team. But
wrong arm. Just let me explain that. Wrong arm would be as this cross blocker, the wide receiver is coming to block him.
right, whether he's going to take this shoulder and go underneath.
Yes, with the left arm, or is he going to hit him with the right? He hits him with the right.
So yeah, okay. So I'll say this. I do agree with Howard here. If you're saying like, hey, he's going to box the puller, then yeah, 12 has to go inside. If you're going to take on the block with your inside shoulder like this, 12 cannot be out
12
here.
cannot be outside. Correct.
He's got to be in here.
Yeah.
So I think that's totally fair.
No, I agree.
Look, he's so 12 is 12 also. I'm just wondering if 12 you see the tight end take off.
Is he going to take him? Oh, does he have him? 6 is chasing him though.
Yeah. Or if he's just it's hard to tell. Or if he's just responsible for the edge and they just
That's okay.
Sometimes you get a great play design based on the action that you see, based on tendencies, right?
All right, coaches and players. I'm talking to y'all too because we all can do it. Like I am, we're talking about Missouri. We're not trying to scout these Auburn Tigers just yet. We got them a whole lot later. But that was a good running play. By them. Okay, another run because we got to kind of get through.
I wanted to answer this because this has been asked, not just here, but I've heard it asked out in the wild. Because our offense in high school changes up whether they're doing run plays out of the shotgun or the pistol. I think what most offensive coaches are going to tell you is that when you're in shotgun, look at this. When you're in shotgun, the running back steps can't typically be straight downhill, right? You've got to go to the side. So this is why you get a lot of inside zone out of inside zone or wide zone or something like this out of shotgun. Whereas when you're in pistol, Were we in pistol the last?
They do run. They run a good
Yeah.
balance between pistol and.
Mhm.
So when you're in pistol, your angles are different for the running back, right? He's going downhill now, even with inside zone, right? The only time that he's going to be going this way is when you're getting some kind of toss action or
Wheel route or something on the
it
pass.
even makes counter a whole lot easier. So actually, what I want to see is like, are they only running counter out of pistol? I wonder if that has any kind of tell. I would hope that probably not, but you never know. But the idea here is, you know, we're taking if we're looking at the running back steps, of just how he can take one step, right, and then he can get downhill. Whereas I don't know what this next play is going to look like, but you'll see his steps are going to have to change. Oh, well, they're going outside anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But that's the gist of it: is the path of the running back, whether you're trying to get downhill and hit it hard versus being a little bit more patient. Those
That's right.
steps are going to change.
And the run difference is the type of run is. So depending on who the coordinators are, you get a better read, or there's a whole lot more to me as a coordinator things that you can force them to do when the back's offset, as opposed to when they're in a dot or a pistol, because you don't know if they're going to go right or left.
Right or
This
left.
one,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're going to get tossed to the left, or you, like you said, you're going to get I don't know, something to the right, as JT just said, inside zone, outside zone. Maybe there's a counter, quarterback counter. But anyway, okay.
Yep.
Let's see
So
what happened here.
the question, there was another question, was if I wonder if teams use a scout team during the season to prep for their opponent. Yes, they do,
Yes.
Absolutely. 100.
absolutely. And I was on that scout team for a long time. Yes, you
And
take
the
pretty good
better your
pride.
scout team you are, the better your team is.
Absolutely, because if your scout
Indeed.
team's trash,
Give me a good look.
If you
mm-hmm,
got a third string running back that is on your scout team, which we had at Bama because we were loaded with running backs. That's why we were so good at stopping the runs, because we had some running backs that would make you look bad. When they were trying to win a starting position, if they
Hmm.
could
mm-hmm.
score on our defense, they were definitely going to be moved up. you know. So, all right, let's hit it. Let's see. Okay, this is the zone, but that's the wide receiver. I'm saying zone. It's a jet sweep, but I love the action. I feel
Action.
like
Hmm.
that their linemen are better runners with this. What do you call it, JT? The elephants on the parade.
Yep, elephants on parade.
You know, they
Nice job by the left guard.
yeah.
Good coming out of his stance. Good lead upfield. Sees color. Bam. He's vertical. Perfect job.
Yep. And that's a pretty good cut by this wide out. How you get
That's
him involved.
that's Luther
That's
Burden. Yeah, he does a
yeah,
good job of getting his foot planted and getting north south. I
yes.
don't know if you've noticed this, JT, in your scouting. Uh, Mizzou running to the short side of the field a lot versus the wide side.
Mm,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Playing in the phone booth instead of getting out to empty space, huh?
Yeah, it's it's noticeable to me. Can't really mix it up, but like last 2 years before this year, they're a heavy left-handed running team. So whether they're running um, to the short side or wide side, those are their best two blockers. So they were a heavy. Cody Schrader made a living running left last year.
Well, those are some pretty good guys over there on the left side side. So look what you see here. More elephants on the parade. Keep us moving along because we hadn't got to their passes yet either. So you got them guys running left. Golly, man. I mean, now this is tricky because you got two guys going to the right
Yeah, but
on the
like,
right hand
come
side.
on, man, squeeze the down
Yeah.
block. Like, just stay
Stop,
right
stop coaching us.
here.
JT, stay focused, stay focused, stay focused.
Like,
You
this is
defensive
just
guys here. But you got
like,
all these guys out here running. Look where they started. We're talking about to the left and to the short side. All them linemen are outside the hash. There's a good
Hmm.
wall right
oh, and then he's
there.
gone.
And
Y'all pick up your drawers, one. Yeah, watch out.
He didn't make it all the way.
Oh,
He gets clips on the foot, not clip like literally, just
I thought he was.
shoestring tackle.
I thought he was gonna
Thought he was out the gate.
run through that tackle. Yeah, I thought he was gonna make it. Yeah.
Okay, so big guys up front, everybody going again. Everybody's moving, man. They got them linemen going. This is just they got them running. Um, it's not. I don't know if you call this a power run. I don't necessarily call it that. I think you know
It's
they
almost like
just
the old fullback lead,
yeah. I
old
was gonna say
fullback lead, but
it's just a lead.
with the
yeah,
tight end.
boom, boom,
Tight end, yeah,
and
no
get
fullback,
done. So
H
if you
back
aren't
lead.
ready, it's going to be interesting to see again. We're going to have a 3-man front or a 4-man front. Um, there's a lot of. We probably should have a whole session on that. What it looks like when you're going against 3-man and 4-man. All right, so we're slipping over. This should be the last. This will be the last piece. What do we got?
I mean,
No, we got those passes.
we got 11 clips to go.
Both sets of passes. Okay, Missouri throwing the ball. Again, they got some pretty good wide receivers. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be just yet. Guy
That's a
stands in
dot.
there and
I mean, that's a good ball, man.
puts it in there. Just saying, you better have tight coverage and you better get these guys on the ground. Otherwise,
Yeah, man. Okay, so I watched this one. I was like, man, this is like he had to be ashamed of himself that he didn't score. He just ran
Yeah,
out. He ran out of he ran out of gas at the end.
that's Mookie Cooper,
Oh,
who
he's
who
out.
who has not, believe it or not, has not scored a touchdown yet in his Missouri career.
he was close.
Yep,
He
2 yards
was so
short.
close. He went 78 yards, didn't
Yeah,
score.
Yes. So
Poor guy.
yeah. I saw because we got touchdowns tagged in here, and I saw this. It's like, ooh, 78 yards, and I was like, wait a minute, how come the touchdown caller doesn't say
Yeah.
yes?
but this also goes into the point of what JT was talking about them being explosive. That was not a deep pass. That was
Yeah,
a catch and
yards after catch. Yeah,
Yeah,
a run.
this is 15 yards, um, roughly.
Guys right there, he can make the tackle. Just miss. And as much as we keep talking about how we're missing tackles, so what we
hmm
got to do, we can't be just going for the strip. We got to get the guy on the ground.
And
Okay.
I'll say this last year, in Missouri, going into the season, they really worked on, you know, beating that one-on-one guy, breaking tackle and focusing on yards after catch. They were going down too easily last year and the year
Okay.
before.
Nice. Weight room too a little bit.
Yeah,
All right. Another tight throw. Which again, you see catch and throw, but
Yeah, this is a
he's
spot
using
route. This is a
there as-
5-yard hitch that goes for 21 yards. Boom.
yeah.
and it was a tight window there.
It's
It's
a tight throw.
Theo Weiss from Allen, Texas.
Yeah.
This he been playing a little too much NCAA though, because this spin move is not it.
Trash. But, okay. Next one. Another pass. Another good chunk yardage play. So this is not. Well, first of all, we talk about this. He's on the left hash and he throws it all the way out here to the
Big boy throw.
numbers. But it's kind of what you're saying with the eyes and what are we looking at? This safety down here. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be in the flat, taking this
Yeah,
out
this guy.
route.
Yeah,
I don't know where he's going.
He's trying to be a hero, coach. He is trying to make a play on a receiver that is like
Running straight to the
7
free
yards away from him, or running away from him, instead of just do your job, buddy.
Yeah, and so this is really kind of a criticism of our defense too. That if you don't have your eyes in the right spot, and you're
hmm
supposed to do big plays, open up, and everybody starts going, "What the heck is going on? This defense is crap."
Yeah, because I mean, there's
this
no problem, like, and I want to say this for our fans, like, there's no problem with having your eyes towards the quarterback, because the idea of it is that you can make a play on the ball because you are quite literally watching him throw the ball.
hmm
You see the ball come out of his hands,
and
you see
react
where
to
it's
it.
going, and you can react to it. That does not mean, though, that you can look at the quarterback and then do
Doing it
what you
wrong.
want to do after that.
Bring it
Because if
back.
he looks at the quarterback and he takes his drop, this is a pick. This has pick six potential. But if you're looking at the quarterback and you're just vacating your zone, this is 20-yard gain potential.
And that is not a coach's error. And
Right.
I
The
know people
coordinator
probably think
cannot.
that I'm
This is
apologizing for them or being defending, but we have some of this where guys are just doing their own thing, and it looks like, oh, this is the worst defensive coordinator ever. No,
yeah, and I feel that a lot because it's like, look, I don't. All I
Well,
get to do is call the coverages. I don't get to actually run the coverages for you.
yeah, coaches often get blame that's not deserved because a player does the wrong thing and does something opposite of the way that they're coached.
all right, let's move on. What's the next one? Oh,
I was gonna say the
I'll talk
86
about
doesn't
this
seem like
bootleg.
he catches a lot of balls. Maybe he does, but none
He
of, none
does
of them
not.
do.
He
Okay,
does not. But he dropped. Is this one he catches or the one he drops?
no, he caught this one. This goes for 17.
He dropped one earlier, just like that.
Well, you missed the tackle. So there's one thing you missed. What first at the beginning? Look at the linemen. They're all going left again. Looks like
Mm-hmm.
run, play action. All them linemen running hard to the left, which means our backers and everybody are going to be flowing with them. And then you're going to have this guy leak out here, and someone's going to have to tackle this big dude, a DB typically. And if you miss,
Yeah, bro, like
there's
wrap up. What are we doing? What is that?
don't get caught up in it, JT. Don't get
I'm
caught up
I,
in it,
I'm
JT.
I'm upset because my team does this and
No,
Alabama
don't,
does this.
don't take it personal, man. It's not your team, man. They're orange and blue, and you
Yeah.
know. So anyway, the main point is play action off of their strong run. Okay, so
Yeah.
I put this only when I put an arrow in. This is an unbalanced formation. We talk about this a lot, Howie.
Mm-hmm.
On this, there's a tight end to
It's
the
probably a
left.
yeah,
That's
probably
a tight end. That's an eligible number, but
Yeah.
he's in the tackle position.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it really good from an end zone copy, but I wanted everyone to see the formation too when we're talking about this. So that right tackle is a
Eligible receiver, I should say,
yes, because the wide receiver outside of him is off the
off the
ball.
line of scrimmage. Yeah.
So
And for
we
those are your listeners that aren't sure, you got to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage, 4 behind the line of scrimmage. The 2 end guys are eligible receivers by position, unless one of them is wearing a number, an ineligible number, we should say, right?
that's correct. 50 to 79.
79. Yeah.
Hey, Dad, you want to take this question here?
3-4 or 4-3 would probably work better. Do you all agree since most of our defensive guys are Saban guys? I don't know. Uh to me, I think that the way we're built, you could play a 34 defense. Um, I don't like saying that it's going to work better because you still got to coach it. You still got to have guys in the right place and things of that nature. Um, I don't know that we're as effective as we can be up front, with our guys. I don't think we create enough pressure with our
34.
linemen. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you got to have you. It just our pressure package has to be better. It's like Mike Zimmer and the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't matter what you're trying to run if you're getting gashed in the run and everything
Mhm.
else. Well, I mean, he's calling everything in the playbook, but you're getting whooped.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know,
So
well,
Mike Zimmer was a grad assistant at Mizzou when I was sophomore, junior at Mizzou. That's how long I've known him.
yeah, so we get caught up in the stars as in 4 stars, 5 stars. They should be
Mhm.
better players and all this kind of stuff. But it's what Howard was talking about earlier, if you don't get separation at some point, you it does not matter if it's a 4-man front or 3-man front if you can't beat one-on-ones, if you're just
Yeah.
getting blocked single up. So we don't have a Will Anderson,
Hmm.
or those guys up there that are just, hey, you got to send 2 3 guys at him. um, I don't feel like we have that guy. So uh, I probably didn't answer his question on what do I think either one of those would be better.
Well, so
I don't.
I would say you can give a better answer if the question is do better at what? Because what you're doing is taking a defensive back off the field. So that means one of those linebackers that you put on the field has to cover one of these receivers
A
that
wide
you just
receiver.
that you just took the receiver off the field. So
Thank you for saying that because people get confused with the 4-3. Hey, we need to go 4-3. And I'm gonna let us finish his thought because it irks me because exactly what he's getting ready to say that is if there are 11 personnel, guess what you're gonna end up in anyway when you sub 4-2-5 because you're gonna put a nickel or a
right,
safety
you're
Nickel
gonna
in
niggle
want
there.
you want
No,
your DBs on slot receivers. You don't want because
linebackers.
you got to remember that the offense is gonna sub too, right? If they especially if they can start going fast, right? If they catch you out there with a let's say a 3-4, and then they decide, hey, if we can go ahead and if we can catch you and we got 5 wide receivers on the field and you got 4 linebackers, like you are in trouble.
you know what example we can give? I cannot remember what game it was last year, JT, but we were talking about that was a no-win situation for. I can't remember which running back it was that had to chase a real wheel route or some wide receiver down the field threw a bomb on him for a touchdown. It was a mismatch.
Yeah, no, I
you
remember the
know,
play. Yeah, because we were like, yeah, they ain't no way. He's not fast enough. He's not agile enough. That guy's a
that's,
burner. Like you're it don't matter what defense you call here, you're hosed.
that's correct. And so you can end up with those mismatches.
Mismatches. Yeah.
You were saying
And that does
Got
go the other way too, right? If you're in a 4-2-5 and they come out and 3 tight
heavy.
end set, then yeah, you don't want to be in that either. I guess the point that I'm always trying to make is, and I'll say it again, these numbers don't matter. Like you can get into a 3-4 look without changing personnel, where you just pop a dude off, and we did that against South Carolina. We just moved LT Overton or whoever 20 is, JC Latham off of the line, and it becomes a 3-4. All the same principles, you just have a different body out there. And the question you have to ask is, what are you trying to accomplish when you do that?
He was talking about Tim. I think you said JC Latham.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
anyway, let's keep going. Did we already watch this play or no?
Yeah.
Just the boot. This is the boot from the back angle. So we watched it. I don't know what's up with that tight end dude. He just fell down for no reason, by the way. Anyway, okay. This defense now, the passes against the defense. So you got to watch their rush. How do they rush? What happens? Here again, they tend to send 4, but they will send 5.
Uh-oh.
5. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I was about. Oh, I didn't even say. I was like, when I freeze it,
That's
I
a,
was like, oh, I don't like that.
no,
This
he
is
ran past him. So
that's no good.
Ryan Williams,
can
maybe
we can we can we can we go back to the beginning? I want
Yes.
to see the alignment again.
there's
Because
a bust up there somewhere. I
yeah,
don't know if they're
definitely a
playing
bust.
cover 4. Because the
We
You got a
we
tight end up top.
corner sits. He stops his feet.
No, that's no good.
Because
no,
the safety at the bottom here, and you can dissect what you're trying to get to, Howie. I'm just looking at the secondary because you can tell, the safety at the bottom here is kind of following the drag route, which is pulling him close. So I don't know if this is supposed to be. I don't know what they're playing at the top. If that's cover two or cover four or what.
Well,
What's,
my problem with these is that first of all, we're starting off. There's so much cushion. We don't challenge receivers off the line of scrimmage, and you know, if you just allow a guy at the snap of the football to just run free, and once he's even with you, you
he's
got to
leaving.
turn and
Yeah.
run. He's gone.
Is he even? He's leaving.
Start, start, get up on him, jam him at the line of scrimmage, and force him off his route. Disrupt the route a little bit.
No,
Uh,
he missed.
but he just missed. I mean, it's just
But you can't play man to man
you
for
can't play.
4 yards
Yeah,
like that. Dude.
no, not at all.
You're in
That's
no man's land. You need to be all the way off, like the guy at the bottom, or you need to be all the way up. Don't
Yeah.
be 4
right
yards away.
in
'cause you
between.
can't.
Right.
All right, so
Well,
there
I
you
was
go.
looking at these
That's what-
safeties. So I'm trying to figure out why they're moving towards each other. They're both. They're
I think
both
we've
going.
seen this week to week after stuff. He's going left, he's going right. Again, the drag. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They get caught. Number one on the top. So you got a chance. There. Okay. Uh.
Oh, there he goes. Blitz from
Blitzer?
depth
Yep. So we're blitzing for depth again. This is what
opens
I'm
up
saying.
just like we drew it up. Just got to
Bill
get there a
roll.
little bit faster.
Well, see, and now and this is where you start to. I'm gonna say question, right? Does Milrow make this throw? Does he make this throw, or does he start bailing right about this time?
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna take off, or is he gonna stand in there and hit this strike to this guy? Forget who it is. No, that it's the concept that. What does Milrow do at this point? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for the criticism of, okay.
If it is it a throw on timing, boom, he can get it out. If can he feel the blitz? Can he see the blitzer? Does he? What's his read? Is he reading? At pre-snap, is he looking at that safety creeping up? Because he's been looking at the tendencies. What's he watching?
Right.
Because that guy's just out there. He's not covering anyone, right? He's just out there.
Well, JT says in the Georgia game he makes this.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. To
Tennessee
answer your
game,
question,
no.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a part of it. I think is like, look, I still think that Alabama, just in general, over the last at least 2 seasons, this season and last season, they are nope, 3 seasons because it was even Bryce Young's year. They are absolutely terrible on the road. They're bad. They play significantly worse on the road, and it doesn't matter where they're playing. If it ain't in Bryant Denny, they are playing so much worse.
Can we get the Cowboys to flip flop like that?
For real though, because I'm so sick of going to these games, watching them get blown out. This is ridiculous.
All right, let's keep trucking, please, sir. I don't know how many more plays we got.
4,
3,
including
4.
this one.
All right.
Middle of the field. There it is.
Okay, and so I put this here too of do we make this throw? Can he see it? We saw a lot of clips of this last game, and there's an official in there too. He gets in between the official, in between the defenders. I mean, that's a good throw. What do you see as a quarterback here? Where you stand in that?
Well, so
pocket?
here the question I have is his pocket going to be this clean though?
No.
Because
No.
I think if it's this clean, then yeah, he makes the throw. But if it
depends
ain't
on who
clean,
left tackle is.
if it ain't clean, then no, he's not going to make the throw.
Yes, and that's true. And so maybe I'm being too hard on him, but it's just my thought process of can he get it out on time? And
Well, I don't know if Missouri blitzes a whole lot.
They blitz less this year than under Blake Baker, who left Missouri to go to LSU.
I think if I was Missouri's defense coordinator, that I would come out swinging and see what happens, and then decide whether or not he's finding it or not. I think you can use probably 3 drives to figure out whether or not. Now, I'm not saying go a whole half, Georgia.
Yeah.
Just saying a couple drives. Just figure out like which one are you getting today? Which offensive line are you getting?
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
yep. Hey DJ, I see your comment in there. I just want to address it real fast. He put, did George play football? Some Twitter expert said he didn't. I thought that was hilarious. Just in case you guys missed it, someone gave me a smart comment and told me that I was a bad Alabama fan. That I never, because I never played in football. And blah blah blah. And I was like, what in the world are you talking about? So yeah, it's kind of funny. All right. So it's not really. It's a pass in the book because it's a
Mm-hmm.
shovel pass. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot! Which way am
what
I
I
supposed to
liked
go?
about it was that the defensive guy. I don't remember where he came from. He flowed to the ball very well. This backer at the top. I don't know if we're able to circle the one that's on the hash.
14. You talking about this dude?
Yes, he actually did a really good job of
Sprinting to the ball, yeah,
sprinting,
getting there.
escaping. He didn't go with all the deals. He saw the polar, went across the top of the guy.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
working.
that's a hell of a play, man. Um, so giving him some props on that. All right, sack. We're talking. This is a 3-man pressure, by the way, and we're talking about our left tackle
Mm-hmm.
from time to time. This is just wondering, can they get there? We're talking about our 3-man front. And oh, we
Mm-hmm.
hate it. We can't get any pressure. So this is what we're talking about, the one-on-one matchups. Uh,
Get the
obviously,
tackle's feet turn. Get the tackle's feet turn quickly, and then force that quarterback up into the pocket.
okay.
All right, last one here.
Last
It
one.
must also be a sack. Minus 12.
Yeah, I put some here. So this is pressure.
5-man. There we go.
So this is the actual move that I was talking about that you don't necessarily see. It doesn't work here, but it's this movement of the quarterback of spinning to the left, trying to get out of there. But
Yeah.
they're bringing some heat. This
Yeah, see,
down the
this
red
is
zone.
this is what I would do. I would do this in the middle of the field against Alabama right now.
5.
This is their five. This is their 5 down package. So
Yeah.
you got 5 down, 5 down.
Okay. Well, I then want to rescind a little bit of that. I would not play 5 down in the middle of the field, but I would absolutely send 5 in the middle of the field and see
I
if
mean,
I
but
can
look at
get there.
this. I mean, it's kind of. I don't know what the actual personnel is, but it's second and goal from the 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It looks like 2 tight ends, unless this guy's a wide receiver down here. But you know, again, it's I don't. You know, it's like they're. I see it as they're challenging you. No, you're going to throw the ball. Then we're going to get after you because you're not going to run into this. You ain't running down here. Um, so it'll be interesting if they keep the same philosophy um, with it. All right.
Typically, they've been using it um, to stop the run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second down, they'll bring in that extra lineman, put them over the nose, and dare you to run inside.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I just got my offensive coordinator hat on. You're going, man. We got to have some kind of check, some kind of something, some kind of look, some kind of motion, some kind of shift.
Yeah.
you know, the
It's a glorified. Uh, Although the linebackers alignment's different, like the Bear defense, 46 with those 4 downs. Um, Obviously, not run as adeptly as the Bears did it,
what was that say?
but
Somebody,
conceptually,
somebody asking about our film.
Yes.
Hey man, if you want to see stuff like this, guess where you got to come? To Teague's Take. And no, and that's why we need you guys as sponsorships. Yeah, subscribe to this, make sure you know about it, and give when you can because it's not cheap. That's why we're thankful for our sponsors and stuff of this nature because without them, we don't have this. We ain't got the software. We don't have all the things that we need to have to be able to show this to you. So thank you, Blackfire. Thank you, On Three. Uh,
And a special shout out to John today for his
yes,
$10
thank you.
contribution.
Yep, thank you, Todd in Texas. Thank you, John, specifically on that. So, um, the more we do this, the more even more content that we can have, or data. If you like data, I know some of you guys are really into that piece. Do it. So, everybody, give a shout out to Coach Richards today. Coach Richards for doing that. Make sure you unplug your computer. JT might be able to tell you on what to do with cybersecurity to make sure he
Yeah,
didn't hack
at the
everybody in the
very
chat.
least,
Yeah.
at the very least, use
It's too
different passwords on
it's
your
too
on
late now. It's too late. I got them
use
all.
different passwords on all your websites and cover your webcam.
Yes, sir. Man, I'm so paranoid about that. That's one random thought for you, because I don't know if there's any truth to this. Do they really be turning on people's cameras on their
Yes.
phone and
Yeah,
all this kind of
yeah,
stuff and listening to you or watching you or whatever? So you know
absolutely.
that's why I like phones with covers. This one doesn't cover the camera, but my last one did. I was like, no, we got to close this thing up. Nighttime. I don't need them.
Yeah, so mom gave me I got it right here.
How about that camera? You talking about AI just follow him around? You see that?
Mom gave me one
Yeah,
of these 3 years ago.
What is that?
It's a Amazon Echo.
Oh, they listen to you. You don't want to.
It
Hooking it
is
up.
it is still sealed in the box.
So-
never took it out of the box.
Never took it out of the
uh,
box.
but this
All
is
you
the
have to do
same
is
guy that
use
has
the
all
mute.
the
Use
stuff, the
the mute.
doorbells, every app in the world to do
But
everything
yeah, but it all
electronically.
it all runs on my computer in this room right here.
Well, everybody can't make a computer like you
Well,
and
then
can't
everybody
make
shouldn't be having
firewalls.
not saying that I'm unhackable or anything, but at least I'm just saying like, my doorbell camera's not going to the cloud. It's going right here.
All right.
Yeah,
Howard, thank you, man. We kept you really long. We kept the fans really long. We're very thankful for you accepting this invitation a long time ago, coming in, shooting your knowledge about football. Even though you got a new venture here, I'm sorry that I didn't get all that right. I didn't ask you
nah,
about it. I
all
just
good.
know from our deal, we're gonna have to figure out how to. You didn't say Halcyon, you said Helicon. I think was the name of the
Mhm.
group here.
Helicon.
Helicon.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't know if that can help anybody in here, but I'm sure he's got something that might be able to serve you with that. It's going to be a great game. I'll make sure I text you afterwards, and we'll have some friendly banter, I guess,
I appreciate it. No doubt.
throughout the
You can
piece.
text me throughout too. Text me throughout also.
Okay.
I'd like to get your take on it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
to get Teague's take during the game.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. You get yours too. So, thank you again for everything, and we look forward to chatting with you in the near future. All
Pleasure, fellas.
right.
Always
Okay.
pleasure. Enjoy this. All right. Have a
Good to
good
go.
week.
Bye.
Roll
Thank you.
Tigers. Roll Tigers.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Good one. Good one. All right, brother. Have a good night,
All right.
man.
Take care. Okay.
Thanks. All right, JT, another good one, man. Man, we're cooking and going. I say there's no way we could.
I know we always say that we're gonna go, shorter, and here it is at 10 o'clock. Thanks to chat and our listeners still
Yeah.
being here.
Yep. Thank you to everybody for being a part of it and hanging in with us and all that kind of stuff. I know we had to talk about Jalen, and that stuff is such a hot topic, and I know we probably went long on that or whatever. But hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you loved all the information that you learned about Mizzou and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be another good game. I don't care. I know they're going to. Hopefully, um, that's not the right way because I don't want anybody to be hurt. But maybe they have a leg down if they don't have their running back and their quarterback. Um, I just want us to have a good showing. I want us to play a little bit better. A lot of questions about have we lost the team? Has coach lost the team? I don't necessarily feel that way, JT. I think that There's a little bit of inside stuff they're trying to figure out, but
Mm-hmm.
it takes a time to get the team the way that you want it. Um, I know it's easy to say, well, you were handed a what did they say a Ferrari and you're driving it like it's a Camry or something. You still want your guys, your type of people. He's trying to establish an identity, and it ain't Saban's identity. That's not who he is. That's not even the offense that he runs. I don't even know how much power runs that we thought we might see. Um, well, our running game hadn't been that good
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So I'm patient enough. I'm in it. Yeah, I think we predicted that we were going to lose 2 to 3 games anyway at the beginning of the year. Well, I know I did. I don't know what JT said, but I thought we
Yeah,
were
I
going to
didn't. I
lose.
mean, one of them was not one that I would have picked though.
No, we wouldn't pick Vandy at all. Um, but we're here. You got to win. You got to win out. I don't think you lose another game, and have the chance, to get in the playoffs. I don't know that you have to blow people out, but we need a strong win here, um, because when you get ready to go play LSU, that could be
Mm-hmm.
challenging. So,
Yeah, at LSU too, ain't it?
yeah. So that's it, brother. JT, you got any last words before we get ready to shut this thing down?
Nope.
Okay. Well then, play my theme music, baby, because we're gonna be back next Wednesday, 8:15, same time, same place. Except we're gonna talk about another team, and hopefully we're coming back with a little bit more positive information. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, tell your friends about it, hit the bell. We'll see y'all in a week.